This is Bill Brady, One United Body, doing a recording as part of the Leadership Training School. This particular recording is about the age of peace. And what I'm going to reveal to you, I'm going to reveal based upon a night vision that I had just a few minutes ago. I've just woken up this morning. I'm speaking softly so I don't wake up the family, up my wife, that is. So what I've been shown is that within the age of peace, and I'm talking about us personally, because there is an age of peace that's personal to us, and there's also an age of peace, same age, but it's personal to us first, and then you bring the age of peace to the earth, right? Or before then, you may bring it to an ecclesia or a house, probably to a house, maybe both, and then to a city, to the earth. There's spheres of influence. Okay, but I'm talking about the within you. Within myself, in this night vision, I was shown three doors. First door was the door to my spirit, and it was open. The second one was the door to my soul, and it was closed. And the third was the door to my body, and it was closed. And what I was being shown in this night vision was that my personal experience of the age of peace is limited at the current time to my spirit. I can feel the age of peace in my hands, for example, which gives me the impression that ages can be imparted by laying out of hands. I have to test that one out. And I also can feel it on me. Physically in my body, I can feel the age of peace, just a deep, deep peace that came yesterday. Why coming now? Well, it has to do with in the Kingdom Age, there's the 5 stones in order, 1 through 5, with capstone being apostle. In the age of Melchizedek, there are the 5 stones with sun being the capstone. And I have entered into functioning as the sun on the earth, and it has begun to manifest in my being. I've had times in the past where I felt peace upon my being, but it came and went. And my sense is at this point, because I'm now functioning as a sun, as opposed to functioning as an apostle, do the apostle function as the sun now, that this peace is now permanently upon me. And I'm being shown by this night vision that it's currently permanently upon me as part of my spirit, but not in my soul and my body. Well, what's the difference? The soul is the mind, will, and emotion, right? And the body is this physical thing. Wrong word. This physical body, which we honor. Now, it's going to be my mandate to come to an understanding and a revelation of how to open the door to my soul so that the age of peace can enter my soul. Now, what's that going to mean? That peace will be a permanent presence in my mind, a permanent presence in my emotions, woohoo, right? And a permanent presence in my will. That I won't do things that will dampen or remove the peace. I will function in a way that the peace stays permanently in my soul. Now, need to at this point mention that the word peace comes from the Hebrew word shalom, or shalom rather, that means wholeness. Wholeness. Completely restored. Nothing broken. Nothing not functioning. So with respect to your soul, peace in your soul means your mind, will, and emotions are all functioning properly. And furthermore, they're functioning as the new mind, which is the mind of Christ, the new soul, and the new will. I delight to do your will, oh my God, right? And they're no longer at all functioning as the old will, which is in opposition to God. And then peace within the door, inside that door with respect to the body, every part of your body restored, nothing that needs healing, everything functioning in divine health. I believe that rejuvenation, restoring the dew of your youth, will be part of shalom, the wholeness of your body, because aging is not something that was built into us initially. It's not part of our three-part being as it was created. Aging is something that came because of death, because of mortal death. Dying, you will die, right? The Lord told Adam that in the day that you eat of the fruit of the knowledge of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you will die. Well, yeah, he did die. He began dying, mortal death. He started aging. And then at a later time, he actually died mortal death. His body itself as a whole died mortal death. So the removal of mortal death from your body will stop aging, and the restoration of the dew of your youth, or another word for it is rejuvenation, will turn the clock back on your body, reverse aging you to the point that, I presume that process will stop at the point that you're physically mature, which may not be until 30 or something. We'll find out. After which it's all downhill. So up to that point, it's uphill, maturing to a perfect state of your body. And after that, because of aging, it's a gradual decline in function and ability physically. So rejuvenation or restoration of the dew of your youth will bring you back to this peak point of perfection, physical perfection up here, that you reach after you've matured, and that you then will have a reversal of that long slide of aging, totally reversed back to here. Shalom of your body will include that. So for me, the task now is going to be my discovery task is going to be to see what it is about my soul that causes that door to be closed to the age of peace entering within, and the same with respect to my body. What is it that causes that door to be closed? It's something having to do with what I think and believe, or it may be something having to do with legal ground. I don't think it's so much legal ground at this point. I think it has to do with having to change my mindset, replace an old mindset with a new mindset. It's going to have to do with peace. So there's a peace mindset. I'm saying that as I speak in that revelation. There's a peace mindset that allows us to have shalom, peace, enter our soul, and later enter our body. And we're going to need to trade out of whatever the current mindset is that hasn't been replaced by the peace mindset, and trade into the peace mindset. And that will then open the door. And I can see the door opening right now as I speak. That'll be the door to my soul. It's opening now. And I receive the age of peace into my soul, which is my mind, will, and emotions. Wow. Getting an outward manifestation of my body that gives testimony to the reality of what just happened. Manifestations do that, right? doesn't have to be a manifestation. God graciously gives us a manifestation to show us that something has happened in response to what we've just done. Talking about a process of these things internally, personally, and then also manifestations are the same thing. So back in the kingdom age, when you preach the gospel of the kingdom, miracles would happen in the crowd, which are manifestations of the Spirit, which confirm the truth of the gospel of the kingdom that's being preached. I'm talking about manifestations that don't require you to actually go out and do a miracle, functioning in something to do a miracle. They just happen as a result of the word being proclaimed, the gospel being proclaimed. They just happen in the crowd. Some will have these manifestations, some will not. God sovereignly chooses who gets the manifestation, who doesn't. And, it's simply a part of him confirming his word to those who are listening. Same thing with manifestations personally. When we're doing a personal action, basically I was preaching the gospel peace to myself, combination of preaching and teaching, because I was explaining, but it was all based upon me having a night vision, a vision in the night, same term, night vision, vision of the night, that revealed to me this truth. Now, I'll add one more thing here. Since I'm functioning as a son now, instead of functioning, I do the work of the apostle and so on as the son, I'm no longer functioning in the 9 manifestations of the Spirit. And having some element of knowledge revealed to you is the work of the Spirit of knowledge. And having some aspect of wisdom revealed to you is the work of the Spirit of wisdom. The Spirit of the Lord is both upon us and within us. It's upon us to proclaim or preach gospels or truths. I shouldn't use the word it, because I just don't know whether the Spirit of the Lord is male or female, so I'll just continue to use it. Forgive me for that. The Spirit of the Lord is also within us as a tutor to tutor you how to do these things that the Spirit of the Lord does as anointing. The same principle applies to the other 6 spirits of God. There is an anointing of each Spirit of God that is upon you, and the Spirit, that particular Spirit of God, will enter within you to become a tutor to train you up. And I see that this tutors within apply especially to sonship or son. With respect to sonship or son, the 7 spirits of God are upon us, and each is upon us as an anointing, and each of us is within us as a tutor. And these replace the functions of the 9 manifestations of the Spirit. So, functioning in the kingdom age, you would know something because of a word of knowledge. But functioning as a son, you know something because the Spirit of knowledge reveals it to you. And the same thing about the other 6 spirits, which I'll talk about more another time. But this is a revelation I've had in the last couple of days. And seeing this truth of the age of peace is part of my entering into full function as a son, because the son or a son functions in the age of peace. A son is the capstone of the age of Melchizedek. So that's when you begin to function as a son. But then the age of peace is above the age of Melchizedek, and you function as a son in the age of peace, which is why I am now beginning to get this revelation about how to function in the age of peace. I know that was a lot of information, and I could have broken them up into several different teachings, and it didn't happen. They're all kind of related to one another, and they're all recent revelation that was given to me, either while I was awake or while I was asleep. Okay, that's enough now. Any truth that you just heard for the first time, when your spirit recognizes it as being truth, you're going to want to receive that as a seed into your spirit, into your heart. Your heart is kind of a connection between your spirit and your soul, a combination of the two. Receive it into your heart. And in order to do that, you may need to listen to this recording a second time, because there's quite a bit of revelation in there. And you may want to, every time you recognize a new seed being sown, pause the recording and consciously do the receiving of that seed of truth into your heart, so it can begin to grow there. These things that I'm revealing to you, I am beginning to function in them now, but I saw the age of peace months and years ago, because it was proclaimed to me by Ian Clayton, a recording I listened to, and honored Ian for the initial revelation of the ages. Jane and I have been doing a major discovery journey with respect to the ages to actually live it out, take it in and live it out. But anyway, point being, go back and listen to the recording a second time. Every time you recognize a seed of a new revelation being sown into you, pause the recording, do the receiving of the seed into your spirit and heart, and then unpause the recording and go on to the next revelation that's new to you, and pause the recording again and do the same thing, and so on until you've gone through the entire recording and have received all the seeds that I sowed in you during the course of this recording. As I sowed quite a few more than I usually sow in one recording. I try to break recordings up into smaller chunks of revelation, but this didn't happen today. This was a longer one. Okay.